I'm Alex.
And I'm Teddy.
And I'm Spencer.
And we are
The Button Mappers.
Hey, the Button Mappers.
Welcome everybody to the Button Mappers, where we map out buttons and map out Final Fantasy VII.
Woohoo! One of
Damn,
the biggest undertakings ever on the Button Mappers.
We're skipping six whole games. How will we know what's going on?
Yeah. Last time on Final Fantasy Z.
Don't get me started.
Final. Map the final fan.
Barrett.
Yeah, this is like as Teddy alluded to, this is one of the harder ones we've ever done. This is take 2.
It takes two to make a thing go right.
It takes 10 hours to make progress in Final Fantasy VII.
To map it out, it's like
We haven't really done an RPG except for Pokemon, and that's not really a very story-based RPG.
Witcher 3.
Me.
The Witcher 3. Yeah, that's true.
Excuse me. Me and Teddy did Banjo-Kazooie.
That's like an RP3E, but I don't know if it's really an RPG.
You know, that game actually started as an RPG.
Did it?
Yeah, it's a fun fact. But I won't spout off Banjo facts all day.
Can you give me one more just for the road?
Okay, let's do one more. There's a pirate in the second game that was actually meant to be the main villain.
Not as interesting as the first fact you gave.
Well, I blew my load on the first one.
Spencer, you just don't know Blubber.
It wasn't Blubber. It was Blackbeard or everything is.
True. Yeah, we did do The Witcher. You're right. So this is another different kind of RPG. This is more of a turn-based RPG. What do you guys think about turn-based versus action RPGs? Maybe you should make a video response to it.
Yeah.
Or it's probably already going to be... yeah, make a video response to it.
Funny you should ask. Alex and I already have to.
Hey, look at that.
One of us will do the other one eventually.
There's a
Anyway.
hidden gem in mine.
Final Fantasy VII. It's the story of Cloud. It's the story of redemption. It's the story of Mako, which I didn't know how to pronounce until the remake happened. Quite a grand adventure. So it's a personal favorite of many people's, I assume, especially in the Final Fantasy series. It's the game that introduced people to RPGs in the West. Of course, they existed before, but never really to the popularity that they did once the PlayStation 1 hit and this game came out. This is not a hidden gem. This is a very visible, bright, maybe too bright gem. I think all of us are probably going to agree on one thing, that maybe this game gets a little bit overhyped. A little bit. I'll let you guys answer that for yourselves, but certainly how I feel. But it's certainly not a bad game. It's just I think there's a lot. There's other games that do it better in the contemporary section. So before we get into it, what does Final Fantasy VII mean to you, Alex?
The year was 1990 something. I don't know, 8 maybe. I don't know. When did the game come out? 8, 7, somewhere in there.
It's like 96 or 97.
Was it? No, it wasn't 96. It had been 97 then. Anyway, the year was 1990 something.
It's a good start.
There I was at Blockbuster, looking at the games on the shelf. I walk past. I see this game with a guy and a big sword. And I walk past it. And I go get Crash Bandicoot because that's what I always get.
5-year-old Alex always getting Crash Bandicoot.
That's all that mattered. Wow!
What about you, Teddy?
I'm a fierce competitor and arguer against kids in my grade school who claim that Final Fantasy VII was better and the best game of all time compared to one of my favorites, and that's Ocarina of Time. Which I think it's an absolute travesty that we're mapping this out before Ocarina.
Oof.
I blame Alex.
I thought you were going to say Quest 64.
That's Spencer's story.
Yeah.
No.
You're up.
Speaking of Quest 64, no. When this came out, I was playing Pokemon. My friend was playing this, and I was like, "How can you play some shitty game where you can't like make your? It's not like an action game, and you just operate out of a menu." And here I am sitting there playing Pokemon. So what the hell do I know? But this game completely went over my radar until way later after I beat Chrono Trigger and fell in love with RPGs. So
Spencer
it's fun to go
loves
back.
Spencer loves Geodude. Confirmed.
I've never finished a Final Fantasy game. How many have you guys finished?
Counting spin-offs, yes, or just main titles?
Let's just say main titles, yeah.
Like 2.
This would be my second.
Okay.
The other one was 9.
I've dabbled in some. I played a good 10 hours into 9. I picked up 15. I watched some of 13. So that's my
That's plenty.
Final Fantasy experience.
I've played through 1 and I've played through 12. There you go. 12's my favorite. So
Very nice.
We're gonna see today if 7 maps out the competition. Actually, we're just doing disc 1 today, isn't that right, Spence?
That's true. Today we're starting with disc 1, and the next time we do it, it will be discs 2 and 3 combined together, a mashup, if you will.
So like that subscribe button, ring that bell, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Apple Podcast, Podbean, Pod Bucket, and
Podcore.
SoundCloud.
And stay tuned for the next episode to find out if Alex actually finished or not.
Oh, call out.
Can we start a podcast service called Pod Bucket? I like that one. It's a bucket of podcasts. It's a whole bucket, man.
Hi,
Reach
I'm
in and
Pod,
grab one.
and I'm Bucket, and we're here today to Pod Buckets.
Pod Bucket. All right, you guys ready to start the map?
Born ready.
Yeah.
I was born Reggie.
I was born Barrett.
Barrett
The game. Oh, all right, here we go. Let's start the map out with Midgar. This is where the game starts. It's the most famous part of Final Fantasy VII. It's what everybody kind of attributes to the game. As soon as you think of 7, you think of Midgar. Well, you think of a couple of things, but environment-wise, it's definitely Midgar. And it will be here. We'll be here for like what, 5 hours approximately before we even take off to the outer world. Midgar is a dark place. It's characterized with a lot of dark colors, not a lot of sun. It's a technologically advanced city that uses Mako to power a bunch of different sectors through reactor plants, basically. And you guys are Avalanche, you being Cloud and Barrett. We'll get into them in a second. And you start out blowing up one of these sectors. And there's a lot going on here, but before we get into all that, what do you guys think of Midgar?
Midgar is a place.
Great place to have kids.
It's definitely very distinct, especially looking at other like the 6 Final Fantasy games before this one. Starting here, I think really does like set the right tone for this and really does set it apart.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the other 6, but I will say with this one that it's kind of like very real world, dystopian, etc. And it's kind of a nice shift of pace from your typical. I mean, even comparing it to Ocarina, like your forest level, your grasslands.
That's the thing. Like the other 6 are like really like I don't know like very contemporary fantasy settings in a way. I think 6.
Right.
I think 6 does have some like steampunk elements to it, but not as much as 7.
Midgar 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 definitely wanted a more real world feel, which probably contributed to them being like more adult, trying to hit the more mature audience. Should be put in quotes, but I love the way that the whole like dinginess looks. It looks like kind of like Teddy said, a post-apocalyptic, almost futuristic looking grungy world. What do you guys think of Cloud? He's our main hero, and he's super edgy.
Hi, I'm Cloud.
Guys,
Really?
your
'Cause
Cloud?
my vision is cue the shoulder shrug.
Yeah.
That's what I see him saying. I haven't played the remake yet, but if he doesn't go, I'm a little disappointed.
No, the remake I think stays pretty faithful to the opening of this game. Cloud's just kind of like I don't care. I just want to get paid, man.
What do you think of Cloud, Spencer?
He's got a lot of history behind him. He certainly started that androgynous kind of character that we see throughout Final Fantasies going forward, and through a lot of RPGs they took after that. And they really played it up with a scene in Midgard, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But he represents a lot of changes for characters. One, he talks, which a lot of Final Fantasy characters talked before, but a lot of RPGs at the time also had silent protagonists, which he is definitely not. He has a lot to say, and sometimes not a lot to say because he just shrugs. But he's got a lot of character to it. He's very edgy and kind of moody, especially at the beginning of the game, which is obviously hinting at what he'll become. I like him. I think he's pretty cool.
Plus, that Buster Sword's iconic.
Yeah.
And he uses a lot of hair gel.
Wow.
Dude, that's just how they are in Japan. They just all have spiky hair.
Oh, I've never been, so you can tell me about your
Yeah.
experience.
I'm just saying. Have you never watched an anime?
Is that what it's called? I thought it was cartoon.
I thought it was the flip book.
I thought it was PictoChat.
All right, moving on. What about Barrett? He's who we're introduced to as well. He's got a Gatling gun for an arm. He's loud. He's awesome.
Can we just rename this game Barrett Fantasy 7? Because Barrett's the best character.
He's so cool.
If they were gonna do a remake of it, they should have remade it through the eyes of Barrett.
Barrett's the best character. He's just like an overly, I don't know what, confident, headstrong dude with like a gun on his arm. He's like super tough, you know. He's like, I'm ready to take down Shinra, you know, and stuff like that.
And in my eyes, and you guys can agree or disagree with this, is fine. I think this is how you do race right in a video game.
I like racing. We'll get to the Chocobo race later. Don't worry, Teddy.
And the motorcycle.
And the motorcycle.
No, I mean he would be like the first major character in a Final Fantasy VII that's African American, right?
Yeah,
Or assumedly he's African American.
He's one of the only like really like black RPG characters I can think of. I know there's one in like 13, but fuck that game.
Yeah, no, he's done real well. He's got a heart of gold, even though he doesn't always show it. But he's pretty great.
He's the character before he's the skin color. Like that's I think is the big thing.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the yin to Cloud's yang too. And that's very very evident in like the intro of the game.
But at the same time, they still like aren't afraid to go back and forth. You know, even though he's a big burly guy, Cloud's just like, whatever, Barrett, I'll take my pay.
Yeah. They've got some great interactions in the remake as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All right. So they're doing the whole. So we have a couple different scenes here. One with we've got a couple with reactors. We've got a couple with the neighborhoods. Let's talk about the reactors first, I guess. What the reactors kind of represent that very mechanical, explosive, stealing from the earth, quote unquote, or the land. What do you guys think of the reactor scenes?
Whenever you say reactor, I just think of like Homer Simpson and his like his desk. His,
Why
like,
wasn't
nuclear...
Homer in there?
Yeah, his like nuclear reactor desk.
Well, that's as contemporary as it gets. Could you imagine? The Final Fantasy VII mod featuring Homer Simpson.
Don't.
Marge.
There's a side quest where Cloud has to give Homer donuts. Donuts.
It would have been a great cameo to have him in like a little side pocket.
The Simpsons. It like opens up and it's Cloud and Barrett like.
And Cloud shrugs. Homer. My thoughts on the reactor. This game drops you in the thick of it, so I didn't really like understand what I was doing in the first. Just like, okay, I'll go blow up the reactor. You know, so I went along with it. I think when you start to with the first one and you're blowing it up, you have an escape sequence. You have like 10 minutes to get out of there before it blows up.
Yeah.
So I didn't find the boss battle memorable, but I did find this kind of tense moment with like 10 minutes to go and you're encountering random battles in your escape out to be a moment tense, and it kind of showed that the game is not just, you know, random battles and adventure.
Yes, that's a good point. And that can be for better or for worse, as we'll see with some mini games later.
Sorry, I just want to say this is also a good trick in like storytelling is to just drop you in the middle of a situation, because it kind of like gives the world a chance to like explain itself without the game needing to really like the characters to be like, oh, this is Midgar and this is this and this is that, like you're dropped in the middle of the mission. I don't know if you ever watched Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, but like that movie opens in the worst possible way of the characters like on an elevator like, we're good friends. Remember how good of friends we are? Oh yeah, yeah. So this is like the opposite of that. This is like you're watching them in a very intense situation. You're like trying to piece it together as you go along.
Media res, right? That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Cloud. And with me today is Barrett. Barrett, say hi, Barrett.
Hi, Barrett.
Hi, I'm Barrett. And I'm here with Cloud. Okay, I'm sorry.
We're going to destroy a nuclear reactor.
They're sucking up all the Mako.
Here in Midgar, Barrett has Marlene.
That is all.
Okay, that's it.
Let's explore the slums. The slums are the outer parts of Midgar. They're underneath the big plate, so they don't get much, if any, sunlight for some of them. There's a couple of notable places. We got Seventh Heaven, which is
one of my favorite sitcoms. Gotta love watching that on ABC Family.
Also
sorry,
a bar. It's a bar. You can't talk about that show anymore because the dad is not a great guy. But
I didn't like that show anyway.
That joke sucks.
Fuck Seventh Heaven.
It's a bar. We got Don Corneo's mansion. We've got a lot of different little cities. We got Eris's house. But we got so much going on here. Let's talk about two characters before we get into any of that, though. Aerith and Tifa. Let's start with Aerith.
Why
she's a flower girl. You run into her. She's nice to you. She gives you a flower.
If you choose to pick it.
Oh, come on. Are you heartless?
No, I took the flower.
Of course.
Could you put Aerith in front of Tifa, and I'm sad now.
What self-respecting gentleman would turn down a flower?
That's right.
Alex?
Alex?
Yeah, because I'm saving it for my girl Tifa.
Hi, Aerith. I'll take your flower. I'm Tifa. Oh my gosh. Hi, it's me. Cloud.
It's Sonic.
Tifa Sonic fanfiction. That's what I want.
Well, the only reason I'm talking about Aerith first is because you meet her first.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like picking the best one first, and I was like,
Oh. I'm saving the best for last.
There we go. There it is.
What's up with Aerith? You guys like her?
She's a girl. And Cloud's like, you're a girl. I like you.
She's really devout. You know, you find her in the church. Next thing you know, in the flower patch in the church. Mm-hmm. I don't like the barrel sequence.
You don't like Donkey Kong?
I love Donkey Kong. I don't like the barrel sequence in Final Fantasy VII.
Just like whenever like you roll the barrels, just play that diddle sound.
If Final Fantasy VII had a Donkey Kong sequence, that might change it.
Oh, okay.
But it has an isometric barrel sequence in the church. Dun, 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 dun.
Getting flashbacks to my old dentist's office. We used to play that game.
Donkey Kong 64? Ah, yes, man. Those were the days.
Let's talk about Tifa. I know me and Alex specifically would like to talk about Tifa.
Oh, I would love to talk about Tifa.
For every Tifa, there's an Antifa.
Tifa, he's so proud. You're not going to see the video, but he's very, very proud of himself right now. Anyway, Tifa is a longtime girlfriend of Cloud. Not really girlfriend, I shouldn't say that, but
childhood friend. It's
childhood
friend trope, like an anime.
Oh, okay, like the animes.
Yeah.
She's very, very pretty. I'll say, certainly.
Oh, she got a lot about her to like. You know, she got a lot going on.
The Chun-Li of Final Fantasy.
Oh, Chun-Li's got nothing on Tifa.
She's holding down the fort at Seventh Heaven. Alex, what do you think of Tifa?
She's got a huge personality. Tell you that much.
That's right. Yep. Teddy, what do you got on Tifa?
If Majora T was a girl, be Majora Tifa.
You just ruined Tifa for me.
There you go. I did it. I ruined the personality. I passed the personality test.
She's definitely in there for a reason. We got the mature audience we're trying to hit.
No, obviously she teaches everybody that they need to stretch.
Yes. Stretch your back.
Stretch your back. It's important.
Stretch it
when you're
good.
battling. Yeah. She just leans on back there.
Yeah.
And lean back. Lean
Lean
back.
I was really interested in her form because I want to stretch like that, and so a lot of times I'd really like look deep at those scenes where she's leaning back because I think we could learn a thing or two about how to stretch your back out.
A thing or two.
Next time on the Button Mappers, Spencer will be doing somersaults.
Yeah.
There actually is enough of the titty jokes. There actually is something to be said about Tifa, about like her in the game being like a strong female lead in a sense.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It was confusing at first. I thought she was Marlene's mom the first time I met her, but that kind of gets dispelled later on. But you realize she's kind of like a caretaker, but she's also watching out for Barrett. I do like at this point, like when you kind of all congregated together in like I think it's the bar.
Yeah.
You get this kind of like developing understanding of the characters and their realities. Nothing's quite clear. You just know that Cloud's like ex-soldier, and now he's an Avalanche, and you know he's like kind of teaming up with the people in Avalanche. What do you guys think about the factions?
Factions like Avalanche and Shinra?
Yeah,
I guess
Avalanche,
Shinra's a faction.
Shinra, Soldier. You're kind of introduced to these ideas early on.
I can get Avalanche. I can get Shinra. Soldier, obviously, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, they say it's just like a military thing, I guess.
Yeah, it just sounds like fancy.
It's funny because I didn't know they let anime boys in the army, but I guess
know what?
Korea disagrees.
Dude, if they would have let anime boys in the army, like it'd be great. Like Goku, like firing blasts at like Naruto.
It's pronounced Naruto.
Naruto.
I have no idea.
Naruto.
Yugi's like whatever white dragon or whatever he plays his card.
You have to do it in the Yugi voice. I play my trap card.
I don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
you're
could you see
missing out.
Iraq shooting like a big missile at us? We're like, you just reeled my trap card.
But my boy Baku from Bakugan is there. I don't know his name.
How do you pick Bakugan over Beyblade? Come on, man, let it rip.
It's just Monster Rancher.
Pick Dragon Quest?
Isn't that an anime? Is it?
No. Might as well be. No, I'm joking. Another video, another day. We're talking Final Fantasy, not Dragon Quest. Sorry, Spencer.
Speaking of the area, you just kind of touched on it, but let's explore it a little bit more. We got the slums.
Whoop, whoop. We out here in the slums.
A lot of fun things happening here. We'll spend some time with Aerith, like you said, in the church. Spend some time at Seventh Heaven. Spend some time with Don Corneo that you might resist. We might have had different interpretations of that situation, but what do you guys think of these slums?
Personality.
Got
Absolutely.
nightmares.
The P word.
Don Corneo?
More like Don Horneo.
Oh, Teddy, I see what you did there.
Yeah, he's quite horny.
Get it? Because he wanted to fuck Cloud.
You couldn't tell?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
Should have done the old neck search before. Well, we've all been to
The
Brazil.
famous cross-dressing scene.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't care as much about the scene as I do the sequence. You have to do a huge sequence of. It's almost like a Zelda sequence of like trades to get the cross-dress into the mansion.
Oh, that's why I didn't like it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it definitely was an ordeal. I did kind of like that part though, because you got to explore the little area a little more, and like it made the businesses that you go in kind of feel alive.
There's a
Really
funky
did.
theme to that town too, I think. Do you remember? It's like kind of jazzy or something.
If you would have asked me the first take, I could have given it to you, but I forgot this take. Hold on. I don't remember.
His mansion's really like weird music too. It's like.
Oh, you're doing. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun.
It's got a Banjo Kazooie vibe to it, like a witchy
Super
world or
catchy.
something.
It's so simple but so catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I like what one of you guys said. I can't remember which one, but you said that the world really feels alive here.
Me,
which
that's
is
me.
Oh, that was you. I like that because it certainly does. There's a lot of different corners of it, and we'd be spending hours just trying to piece together each one. But they all kind of have a feel to it, and they all have all the characters have things to say, and they have like a story, and you can go in their houses and talk to them. And I think might be one of the earlier RPGs where they really fleshed out a city and made it feel alive, like you said.
Oh yeah, like there's a bar area where the guy's just like, I need to go to the bathroom, but somebody's in there,
And there was literally someone in the urinal, so you can't go in there.
yeah,
If you're trying to figure out where to go next, you're like inevitably talking to these people too.
yeah. So it's like, do I need to do something with this, or does that guy just need to go to the bathroom?
Do I need to get him out of the bathroom in order to progress with the quest?
You just kind of keep talking to him like,
Get out there.
yeah. Well, the last part of Midgar is the Shinra headquarters. It's at the middle of the map. It's a huge, tall building. It's famous. It's even in a lot of the different covers of the game that you see.
Yeah, and the promo art and stuff.
Pretty iconic. Very, very tall building. The game really wants you to understand how tall this building is. It is very tall. What do you guys think of the Shinra headquarters?
Hope you like stairs. Or going in the front.
This is
I
when
walked
the
to the
game-
front.
This is when the game becomes Die Hard.
Oh, yeah. Kind of does. There's a lot of story jam-packed in that building. And a lot of building in that building.
Yeah, this is where you meet Red 13.
It's Red 13.
Hi, I'm Red 13. He's a talking tiger.
All you see is your kingdom. All the light touches is what's that line from Lion King? Everything the light touches is our.
What about where the shadows are?
Fuck that area. Fuck the shadows, man.
What do you think of Red 13? Is he your favorite character?
Yeah, he's mine.
What? I thought you liked Tifa.
Well, okay, I like a lot of the characters.
I
It's
like
easy
Barrett.
Yeah, I like Barrett. I like Tifa. I like Red 13. I like
It's a
Cloud.
it's a good cast so far.
Yeah, it's solid.
When I see a talking animal, that's immediately not in my main party. That's a
Aw,
rule of
come
thumb
on.
of mine.
He's so cool though, and he's like stoic.
I had to understand it. I mean, like, I think he gets a little better over the course of the game, but when you first meet him, it's like, what?
He's like, I will come with you.
Here's
Okay.
a boss sequence, and then, oh, hi, I'm Red 13. I'm a talking tiger. Okay.
Yeah, he just kind of jumped along like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
I mean, dude, if you're telling me if you were in the building of an evil corporation trying to take them down, and you find a giant talking tiger with like magic powers, you would not take him with you.
Oh, he'd be with me on the front line for sure.
Exactly.
But in a fantasy game where
In
I
a
got
fantasy
Tifa-
game,
I got
that's
Tifa
not
next to me.
realistic.
I got Barrett. I don't know. I ain't taking some talking tiger. He can sit in the back.
Tony the Tiger. That'd be a good nickname, Tony. Tony for Red 13.
They're great.
I called him VG Mashup. I also called Barrett Turbozon. And Tifa was the itch.
I love Turbozon.
And I'm Majority.
Good choice.
Or Cloud is majority. But surprisingly, I was going to call him mashup. Red 13 is not the star character of the Shinra headquarters.
What?
Who'd that be?
Rufus. No, I don't fucking know.
Rufus.
Sephiroth. He's up on the top of the building murdering the workers.
President, right?
But I thought he was dead.
Sephiroth Hyperothus.
Back from the grave. It's me, Sephiroth.
Yeah. Sephiroth has returned, and only Cloud seems to know who he is. But
Light flicker.
really cool scene. It's a lot of dead bodies. We talked about this last time, but it reminds me of Metal Gear Solid, the ninja. Gray Fox.
Gray Fox.
The Great Fox is now delivering supplies. Oh, sorry, that was Star Fox.
It's Star Fox, not
Join
Gray
us
Fox.
next time for the Metal Gear Solid map out.
Dude, that'd be sick. Anyway, this is another conversation. So, yeah, we got Sephiroth, although we don't see much of him. Do we only see the sword? Or
Yeah,
do
we just see his sword. We don't know what Sephiroth Hyperothus looks like.
Oh, we will. In due time. On a boat.
Okay.
But, yeah, this is a pretty cool scene. Pretty violent, especially for a Final Fantasy game. Very adult. I do want to mention with Shinra Headquarters, this is the most futuristic the game will look and the most realistic to our time the game looks. Looks really cool. Like, it looks like an office building of the future, not even of today.
You even have to climb through the air ducts at one point.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, escalating this building. That was a
thing.
Coupled with, like, random battles, trying to figure out, like, what you're doing at certain parts of this game can be a bit of a nuisance. I found that this wasn't the worst offender, but there's definitely some floors where I just keep running back and forth trying to find, like, the right room that the key code is in for the next floor.
Don't you hate when you're walking around the office and you just initiate a random battle? Like Susan from HR.
That and when I get stuck in the air ducts. I hate getting stuck in the air ducts.
She uses NAG. She uses TPS report.
Susan Pages, the boss.
Well, eventually you climb up Shinra Headquarters, but somehow you got to get out of it. And you do it in the only way Cloud does it, on a motorcycle, and your friends are in a car.
Da 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 da
No.
da 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 da
Spencer, name that song. Or at least the game it comes from.
Isn't that like Blue something?
From what?
From F-Zero?
You're close
Way to
enough,
go.
but yeah!
What is it?
I think it's Big Blue from
Big Blue.
F-Zero.
Yeah, Big Blue.
I know that from Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Very good. This might be the last good minigame that's in this game. I don't remember.
No,
they all
that's
go
not
down.
true. That's not true. There's at least two more.
What's the minigame? Oh, this is
Uh,
the motorcycle sequence.
Yeah,
That we're talking
that's
about.
actually that is fun. It's a little wonky, but it's fun.
Yeah. At least it's exhilarating. Sure beats dolphin jumping.
Is it because Spencer? Is it because you have to go fast? Is that why it's exhilarating?
No,
Then,
I think if anything,
then
the speed
I have.
hindered it.
Then Spencer, I have the game for you.
Hi.
I'm Sonic.
My name's Sonic.
I'm here today to talk to you about my game. Motorcycle Mayhem. Final Fantasy VII.
Mock Rider.
Well, that wraps up Midgar. Man, I love the dedication and detail they put into this. I really hope they pay that same amount of respect to the other places we visit.
I think this was a great game. What do you think, guys?
Great game. That's it.
One of
Okay.
a kind. Final Fantasy VII Midgar Edition.
Join us next week for Disc 2, where
It really could kind of end there, huh?
yeah, I mean there's a lot of story delivered that we didn't even talk about too. So, yeah, a lot happens in Midgar. So like part of your brain is like, do we just stay here the whole time?
you have a really nice build-up through the entirety of Midgar. You know, whether it's destroying the reactors, encountering the Shinra bosses, them being dropped in, like, you know, recruiting Eris, climbing through Dorn Corneo's mansion and getting dropped, like, back into, like, the headquarters.
The sex dungeon.
Sephiroth. And
Sephiroth.
the motorcycle credit sequence. I mean, you know, when you go through Midgar, it's, like, seriously, like, a good time, and then you come out of Midgar.
Pre-rendered backgrounds that I don't know what to interact with and what don't.
I love them. Don't badmouth those pre-rendered backgrounds.
Yeah,
you take this for walkthroughs.
Have you ever watched the old Wile E. Coyote cartoons where he, like Roadrunner like draws like he draws like the little tunnel on a wall, and then Roadrunner like runs through it, and then like he just smacks into it. That's me trying to like navigate the backgrounds on this game. I'm just like smacking into everything. Like, what the fuck can I interact with?
I got confused a couple times in Midgar. Not too many. It does get worse though.
Yeah. All right. Oh, apparently there's places to go afterwards.
What?
You go to Calm.
Columns?
Yeah.
I love that game.
That's eerily close to Columns.
Oh.
You can't say very calm when you're a few letters away from Columns.
We won't spend much time here then, I promise.
Okay, take it away.
This is like, okay, so Midgar was this new.
Keep going. I'm just into music.
Yeah. New, exciting world, fully fleshed out. Had all these characters in it. Had all this new edgy stuff, new equipment, new technology, and then we hit Calm, which is every other town in a Final Fantasy game. And this is where I stopped. At least 2 of my playthroughs of this game. What do you guys think of Calm?
I think when you get dropped out of Midgar, you guys can't see it. Alex's expression was great. When you get dropped out of Midgar, it's like you're in a huge overworld. It's like, what? What am I doing? Where am I going? Oh, that's a house. Let me go in this house. And it's literally your typical RPG town. Kind of boring by comparison.
I love the map when you leave Midgar. It's so I can tell where I'm supposed to be going.
So vast.
Yeah.
So green.
It's so colorful.
I love the mountain brown.
The grass green.
The blue sea. The yellow sand.
That's it. That is. Oh, white snow.
Yeah.
That is all. Yeah, this map sucks. Totally agree.
Fuck this map.
Hi, welcome to the Button Mappers. We're going to map out the overworld. Calm, you get like a flashback sequence. Is that right?
Yeah, you learn about Nibelheim, a much more interesting place.
In Germany.
Nibelheim.
You get a little nibble of it.
Yes, welcome to Nibelheim.
Welcome to Nibelheim.
We're the Nibblish. We're here to tell you about Nibelheim.
You get to learn about Nibelheim and the Nibblish.
Are you feeling a bit
A
nibblish?
race of nibbles that...
Take a real good nibble.
Yeah, I'm not really hungry. Guys, I'm not that hungry, but I'm just a little nibblish.
I'm kind of calm today.
Yeah. Not much else here. You pretty much move on. But yeah, I just wanted to emphasize this because it so drastically turns from Midgar.
It turns base.
You do have, I mean, we don't talk about it much, but I do want to mention that you do have a flashback to Cloud's dark past. Dark, secret past.
Where he goes in Tifa's dresser and has the option to pull her panties.
And he gets the panties. Dark, secret panties.
Did you go in my house? Did you go in my room? Did you pick up my panties? Oh, no, I didn't do that.
Get out of my room, Cloud.
Oh, man.
Moving
Cloud
on.
always wanted to dress
Mature.
like a girl, you know?
That's why you always put mature. When people talk about PS1, you put mature in quotes. It certainly was more mature.
Well,
Not to be played
we've already
by
seen
the
Cloud
immature.
We've already seen Cloud wanted to dress like a lady. So, yeah, that's all
Guess
I'm
you
saying.
don't top that.
All right.
You don't even get a choice there.
That's right. Speaking of things not looking like what they really are, we have Junon. Junon's the next location. It's a little seaside town. It used to be a fishing town, but Shinra took it over and turned it into a military installation just to the right of it. Just literally like next to it. A huge wall and an elevator, and it's like, oh, okay, you can go to Junon now. It's kind of a weird dichotomy, but it shows Shinra's effect on the world, and that's kind of what every town shows in some way, some form or fashion. Is Shinra has an effect kind of on the whole world, even though they're in Midgar. You can see like a huge cannon pointing out into the ocean, and you do get the two different worlds. You get the world that's like a little fishing town, and then the military installation. Let's start with the fishing town. This has the worst minigame. Or maybe close to? Maybe the Chocobo race is worse. I don't know. But it has a dolphin jump.
Top 5 worst minigames. Final Fantasy VII. Starting with Dolphin Jump.
Do you get a practice
Hope you
mode
like
Mario Kart?
dolphins.
Yeah, this is horrible. But way more interesting, I guess, would be just the big city of Junon. What are your guys' experiences in the military town of Junon?
You get the second worst minigame.
March band.
Marching band.
Press right to tap right.
At this
up
point,
to tap up.
At this point during the playthrough, I was talking to Teddy on the phone, and I was like, Teddy, how the fuck do I do this part? And Teddy was just like, man, Columns 2 is a real bad game. And I was like, Teddy, how the fuck do I do this part?
Kind of cut out a little bit. I didn't hear that.
I'm gonna call you guys back real fast. Don't stop recording though.
Okay. He's having technical difficulties, and so is Shinra in Junon, because somehow they let Cloud become one of the soldiers, or well, one of the recruits, I guess. And oh, that's a spoiler. Never mind. He becomes one of the recruits, and he looks really good in a uniform. I actually like the art direction of Junon. I found it really interesting and looked like a not futuristic, but maybe a more modern day military town with a bunch of little shops on the side and little ways to go and big buildings. But yes, that minigame was horrible.
Before you even get there, some more overworld exploration that's just pretty bad. There's actually a chocobo farm. I didn't know how to get it at first. You get materia, and I didn't really understand the concept of equipping materia, and I'm still learning it like 25 hours into the game, that like it actually depletes some of your statistics like health and magic. Like say you equip like a summons or something. So you actually had to get this chocobo lure from the farm and then use the materia chocobo lure. And then you use that chocobo to cross a desert with this giant like swinging scorpion like thing. I called Spencer, and Spencer told me, oh yeah, you don't need to get a chocobo. You could just, cross the desert if you time it right. So that's what I did.
And then Teddy told me I can just run across the desert, and I said no. I wanted to get a chocobo.
Are you a fan of chocobos?
Yeah, and I got a chocobo. It was not that hard.
It was a relationship meant to last.
If we're talking about little side places, also we had Fort Condor. There's a condor on top of it, and there's an egg on top of it.
I don't want to talk about it.
We must bring the ring to Condor.
The less said about it, the better. It has also one of the. It had probably the worst minigame in it because it's such a time sink.
We'll come back to this one.
Okay, cool.
Stay tuned for disc 2 and 3.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say about Junon?
I was just saying that it's a poopy butt minigame.
Why does it look like a observatory in a grass patch?
It's very jarring.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of the point.
As if things weren't hard enough to find. You have to look on the edge of a piece of grass to find Junon.
Yeah. I almost thought it was like a graphical glitch, it being there.
Oh, yeah, and I think there's like some boss at the beach. You gotta fight, and it's like this little girl's like, oh no, I'm at the beach and there's a sea monster.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the power of a dolphin.
We've heard that in a famous game talk.
All right.
Oh wait, so then this transitions to the boat, right?
You want to talk about the boat? Technically, yes. It transitions to the boat. A lot of cool stuff, including, I think, one of Alex's favorite parts.
I'm on a boat. I'm on
a boat.
Final
Watching-
Fantasy, and I'm on a boat.
He likes Red 13 in his little sailor costume.
Oh yeah, he's doing a little dance. He's like, I don't know how to people.
Do the burn. Do the burn. Well, actually,
That's me.
Barrett steals the show here.
Oh, Barrett's cute as fuck in his little sailor outfit.
Good
I wish
looking
that
man
was
right
a-
there.
I wish there was an option to
Oh.
keep Barrett in that sailor outfit for the whole game.
I want to see Tifa in some fan art.
I don't want to see Tifa in anything, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But she can start in a sailor suit.
Majority.
But anyways, we're on a boat. We do meet Sephiroth on this boat.
Except for Hyrotha!
Saphiro.
He killed everybody on the boat except for us. That's very
Oh,
thoughtful.
what a nice dude.
So great. One of a kind.
Very thoughtful.
Yeah. From here, you end up on a beach. There's not much going on there. A lot of beach bodies, beach bums, getting
Ooh.
their tans.
Get the beach bods.
Beach Bob.
Beach bod.
Beach Buddy.
Yes.
Bob.
And from there, we go to Mount Coral.
Wait, hold on. Can we
Oh.
just say that Tifa... Okay, now let's keep going.
Excellent. She didn't wear a swimsuit for this.
She should.
Can we... Yes. Can we talk about Mount Coral now?
As if you
It's-
didn't have enough of the sea, there's plenty of coral for you to see.
Mount Coral has a couple parts to it, and it kind of surrounds the next part we're going to talk about. But I figure we'll just talk about Mount Coral first. It's home of Barrett and home of some other characters. It's got a big bridge with where a railroad used to run, or a train used to run on a railroad track. And it's got like a dingy town. What do you guys think of Mount Coral?
It's part of Barrett's dark, secret past.
I don't know. They could use a few more resources or something. It's pretty gray. Pretty gay. Gray on the... Not gay. Gray on the colors.
Wow. I mean, for all in all, the town's pretty nice. A little, blown up and, decrepit, but
Yeah, I love sleeping on rocks.
I mean, one of the little walkways is literally like a sign that they set up up against a wall for a ramp.
By the way, you could take the gazebo to the gondola to our famous carnival sector.
The fuck's a gazebo? You ride the gazebo.
The gondola. Hello, I corrected myself. Is that even what it's called? I don't know.
I don't know, but it's not a gazebo.
There's a desert portion where I completely got lost and had to consult a guide. Turns out you can walk around in the desert if you just go up.
And
Wait,
just
go
what,
up.
what are we talking about? Are we talking about when you at the end of the gold saucer part?
Yeah, because I don't want to return.
But there's a important character of the Gold Saucer.
No, we'll talk about Gold Saucer next.
Oh, okay.
But I just want to get Mount Coral out of the way. It's kind of like got a big surrounding area to it. But we do know about Barrett's backstory with Din? Din? D-Y-N-E?
Dwayne?
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 It's wine and
he-
dine.
And the history of Barrett.
He got his hand shooted off.
Yes.
They shooted his hand. That's mean.
I'm Marlene's adopted father.
And the town was destroyed, and Barrett thought that all those people were dead, so he took Marlene. So not even his kid. Really heart of gold, that Barrett. He just gets nicer and nicer.
Poor Dine.
Yeah, Dine fell off a cliff, and then you find him again, and then he falls off another cliff.
That's the pinnacle of storytelling right there.
Yeah.
At some points, I was going through the story like this was written by like a teenager.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is like what I wrote during like ninth grade like math class.
My worst enemy. He fell off a cliff and then he came back to haunt me.
And then after we fought, he fell off a cliff. How poetic!
It's poetic justice.
All right. Anything left to say about this place besides it looks like a desert and is dingy?
How are you gonna skip the gold saucer? Did you? I must be
For
like
the
confusing
third time, I'm going to get to it right now.
But
Then I have nothing left to say. Go ahead.
But Spencer, what about the gold saucer?
Jesus Christ.
Could you stop talking about the gray saucer and talk about the gold saucer?
So you take the gondola up to
Grab
the
get
gold
get on the
saucer.
gazebo.
Get on the gazebo and go to the gold saucer. This is the brightest, most colorful part of the game. And
Some would call it Sonic colors.
Capitalism at its finest.
that's a good point. It is a very capitalistic. It represents, because Shinra kind of represents capitalism, like throughout. It's like the follies of capitalism throughout the world. But this is like the sugar-coated capitalist central part.
It's
a big
small
game
world
area.
after all.
Yeah, it's got a little
It's a
Disneyland
small
influence.
world after all.
What do you guys think? What's your experience with the Golden Saucer?
Stop charging me to go to the fair. I had to spend 30,000 or like 5,000 gil, and I had no monies because I spent it all on Phoenix Downs before I went up the gazebo.
I went to the Kentucky Fair one time and saw Hart playing for free.
Do you see that? Do you see that square?
It broke my heart because they were like, "Yeah, Barracuda," and I was like, "Oh, it's Hart."
Alex got a free concert. I'm sorry, a free concert.
Concert.
And here I am playing Final Fantasy VII. You're telling me I have to pay in-game transactions. What is this?
Microtransactions. That's how they're gonna do the remake.
I had to do another random battle with Susan. Ask her for all her money. For shame.
Yeah, you don't usually see a place gated with such an expensive cost.
But act now and you can get the lifetime pass.
I tried. I didn't have enough money.
Yeah, me neither. I have it now, but what's the point?
I wasn't rolling. Yeah.
What's the point? Well, you could do wrestling endless match. Or you could re-experience motorcycle mayhem
Or you can meet our next character.
in pachinko.
And you're referring to Kate Sith.
Kate,
Yes.
I wonder what this girl's like.
Kate, more like Cat.
More like
It's more-
mushroom character.
It's more like cat on my head.
Sith, more like giant white blob.
Kate said he's a robot being remote controlled. You don't know that yet, though.
Wow, spoilers.
We're
What do
not
you guys
coming
think of
back
Kate
here.
Sith?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what do you guys think of Kate Sith?
I like Mickey Mouse.
Hi, I'll join your party.
I'll join your party. Okay, you just sit in the unused section, please.
Oh, is this that? Do we all agree on that one?
Yeah, I.
Aye, everybody see aye.
I.
Aye.
I think Kate Sith might be the poster child of character you're never going to use in Final Fantasy.
You have such exciting characters. The burly Barrett, you know, the eloquent Tifa, the boisterous Red 13, and then it's like, hi, I'm
Okay.
Kate Sith. Yeah.
That cat does return in Dirge of Cerberus.
By popular demand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a real fan favorite, Dirge of Cerberus.
Great game.
It's a shame we'll probably never cover it.
Probably. It's a keyword.
This channel will have to take a drastic change for us to get anywhere near that.
That's Button Mappers 2050.
Hi,
Literally.
I'm a gaming elder. Man.
Welcome to the Button Mappers 2050. Today we're doing Dirge of Cerberus on the PlayStation 2.
I'm going to do a manual read aloud.
This is a game about a guy. His name's Vincent, and this is like, oh look, it's that cat. Remember that cat from the Final Fantasy VII map out?
Whoa. That was
That's
30
crazy.
years ago. Didn't we do that one for JRPG month? July RPG?
Spencer, is he alive?
No. He died in a radical motorcycle accident.
Thank you, Ghost of Spencer.
That's the Ghost
Yeah.
of Tsushima spin-off.
Yeah, Kate Sith sucks. All right, so what do you guys think of the actual city, though? Or well, not city, but the gold saucer.
I did what I needed to do, and then I left. I didn't want to do anything else there. Except for maybe the third worst minigame in the game.
Chocobo race,
Chocobo Race.
Hold Square-a-thon. I think.
We kind of covered the Barrett thing. So, like, you have to do this wrestling thing, and then you get dropped in, like, the prison, right? Like, the underground part where Spencer got lost in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So then after you kick Dine off a cliff, that's when you go to the Chocobo race.
Yeah. Did you guys do any of the other side games here?
Nope.
Eventually, you do have to do like a little combat one.
Yeah. The second time I came back, I dabbled in like the motorcycle one, but I was done with it.
I guess I appreciate the colors and like the attempt at something different. I don't know. I'm just not intrigued by mini games, especially in a Final Fantasy game, and especially in a Final Fantasy VII game.
I was reading something from the developers of the remake, and they were saying how when they first made the game, they didn't have the budget to fully develop this area the way they saw fit. So take that as you will.
That makes sense. They could, I mean, the way that it like was structured, you could almost build like another Midgar out of this, and they probably will when they do the remake.
Yeah, they could have made like. I wish they would have made it look more like an actual like theme park type area.
Yeah,
Because it's a little disjointed. It's like, oh, like it's almost like you start the area, then you walk into like a warp room or like a hub world from like another game or something. It's like, here's your 6 levels. It's like this isn't feel very connected at all.
It was very sloppy.
I want to ride the gazebo.
That's the best part. So the gazebo.
All right. Anything you guys want to say additionally about the gold saucer?
Yeah. Ready?
Could use more gold.
Okay.
It wasn't saucy enough for me.
Speaking of disasters, let's talk about Gongaga for a minute.
Go!
It's located just south of Gold Saucer. We won't spend much time here, but it is the town where Zack is from. It was destroyed by a Mako reactor explosion.
Zach and Cody.
The sweet life.
Sweet life. Go gaga.
Gongaga.
Go gaga. Home of cooking papa.
Gongaga! Cooking papa!
This my child say. Go gaga. He is
Alex?
baby. Gaga.
We just founded this brand new town. Well, what should we name it? I don't know. Let's ask our youngest town member. Here we go. Here's my son. He's just born. What should we name this town, boy? All right. He said it. We now live in Gongaga.
You heard it here first, folks. We have now declared the name of this town Gongaga.
The baby's like,
We'll call that our next town.
Yeah. Yeah. Not much else happens here, but Alex mentioned he loves it because Alex played Crisis Core.
and Zach is a guy. We'll talk about him later.
Okay. All right, next town, Cosmo Canyon.
When I hear that name, I think of cosmic brownies, which are delicious.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Cosmo Canyon is home to Red 13.
My boy,
BG mashup.
big booty bump.
It's got a couple other memorable characters, Seto, and the really fun to say, Bugenhagen.
Bogenhagen.
Oh yes, my daddy, Bugenhagen.
This area is actually pretty cool because it's like the most natural area we've been in so far.
Yep. It seems untouched.
Yeah, it's like a tribe-ish area.
There's some kind of like
Quest.
spin-off character you can get that's kind of tribal too. I never figured out how to get her. Her name's like Puddles or something. Zufi? Yuffie, yeah. How do you get her?
Puddles.
You have to talk to her in the correct way. You have to like speak with her.
Hi,
and
I'm
use the
Puddles.
correct things. I didn't get her either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
Why would you pick? I love the respect we're paying to Yuffie. I mean, why get Yuffie when you have Tifa?
Yuffie's knockoff. Yuffie's like Dollar Tree Tifa.
Yeah.
You know, it's like fine. It's all I got right now. I guess I could deal with it.
And she tries to like steal from you, so like,
Yeah, I don't like that.
why would I want a thief in my party?
We've already got one traitor in here. Oh shoot.
I don't like. Damn it! You ruined the story. Now everybody knows Barrett's a traitor.
No.
Hey, don't talk bad about my boy right there. Boy Barrett. That's you. That's Turbo's on.
Turbo's on. No,
What are
I'm
you trying to say
Turbo's
here?
zone.
Turbo's
So he's an imposter Turbo's on. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm Turbo Jones.
Turbo Jones.
Hi, Turbo Jones.
Turbo Jones is the coolest name.
I'm a jar of tea.
Anyway, here we are. We do find out Red 13's backstory. It is pretty cool. You have a fun little section where you go to like a cave and stuff.
I like that there's like a planetarium
Yeah.
and a big telescope that you can look out. I like this game like doesn't shy away from the fact that you can look into like the planets.
This game surprises me at moments too. Whenever like a cutscene will start directly from a piece of the gameplay and it'll like shift seamlessly into it, and my mind's just, like my brain is just like what?
They've held up really well over 20 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like the pre-rendered cutscenes look great, and this is one of the areas where you get one of them in the observatory.
Compared to the Roblox graphics, it's like, yes, a cutscene. Pre-rendered graphics. Oh my gosh.
And Cloud's like,
And what do you think of Bugenhagen?
Bogenhagen.
No
I just
legs.
like saying his name.
No legs.
Yeah.
You find out Red 13 is a teenager, essentially. And he is like, okay, I'm going to help you on the rest of your mission. And that's it.
What world created this catastrophe where a human mutant can create a talking tiger and be his son? Please someone explain this to me.
Next time on Button Ball Z.
There you go. There's your answer.
It's red. If you combine pink and brown, you get red.
I don't.
You know what else is red
Teddy, I don't know if
often?
that's how colors work, but okay.
You know what else is often red is fire, and also orange and yellow. Speaking of fires,
Give me fuel.
Our
give
next
me fire,
location
give me that which I
is-
desire.
is Nibelheim. No. Nibelheim.
Welcome
This
to
is
Nibelheim.
Home
Cloud
of the
and
Nibblers.
Tifa's. Yeah. Cloud and Tifa's
Nibblums.
hometown. And a lot going on here. We've got a mansion. We've got a mountain behind it. We've got a lot of weird people in robes.
You can meet Edgelord, the Edgemaster, Vincent Valentine.
There's a lot here. What's your guys' memories and favorite parts of Nibelheim?
This is not how I remember it. Logistically in the game. Because you have the flashback to Niblum. Niblheim.
Yeah, it was a little bit, like on fire last time we saw it, right?
So it's back. Hi. Welcome back to Nibelheim. Except nobody says that because you're like, hi, didn't this town burn down? They're like, go away.
Cloud, are you a liar?
Cloud, are you okay?
Cloud's like, I don't know what's real anymore.
Where am I? I'm in Clue Clue Land.
Cloud land.
Yeah,
Clue
it's cool
Cloud
going
Land.
back to the city that we visited earlier. But yeah, everything is a little bit different. People don't seem to respond to you very well. The mansion is pretty cool. Like you said, you can get Vincent. Did anybody get Vincent in this group?
No, I don't
No.
care. He's just an edgelord vampire.
I need a printout walkthrough for this game.
Yeah, to get him is such a pain. And You know, my friend was telling me about it because he likes this stuff, and he liked Vincent. It's his favorite character, and he's an interesting character. It's just the stuff to get him, like, you really have to pay attention to the world, and use a guide pretty much at this point. Cause
isn't it strange that you can totally miss this character, and yet he got his own spinoff?
Yeah, it's very strange, but you can see why.
Yeah, but like, just imagine like you didn't know about that character even being in the game, and they were like, Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus with returning character Vincent Valentine. You were like, who the fuck is that? Who's that?
Yeah, super odd. I would have liked to have him, but yeah, I didn't really.
Luckily for you, Spencer, you can play through this game as many times as you'd like.
That's true.
At triple speed. And God mode.
On your Nintendo Switch.
Hi, Reggie. Thanks, Reggie. Bye, Reggie.
Here at Nintendo, we love Final Fantasy VII. That's why today we'll let you replay Final Fantasy VII on the Switch.
That Final Fantasy VII was almost a multi-cart N64 release, but Nintendo didn't want that?
Did you know?
So
I didn't
they
know.
put it on PS1. Yeah, it's true, actually. They were going to put it on multiple cartridges, and Nintendo was like, nope.
I thought it was supposed to be for the CD drive.
No, it was supposed to be on the N64 when it first launched. Because it was towards the launch.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they were talking about putting it on multiple multiple cartridges and selling it that way, and Nintendo was like, no.
Because weren't the cartridges expensive to make?
Yeah, and they were like, no, and then they were like, oh, what's up, PlayStation?
Yeah, that's interesting. Thank you for that bit of trivia.
You're welcome. I'm going to go back to my CEO position at GameStop. See you guys later.
We finally did it. We got Reggie on the show. I'm so proud. So proud of our community.
I have a painful memory from the laboratory. I died here, and I didn't save for a while. That was my fault, but there's an enemy in here.
Spencer, what are you doing in my laboratory?
My laboratory.
There is kind of a funky boss that you and I ran into that Alex didn't run into in the basement.
Oh,
yeah. He's like a two-headed creature, and the one on the one side does magic or takes magic damage, the other takes physical. I think I'd know how to solve that, but I didn't, and I died.
Yeah,
Teddy's sink now.
All alone. Water attacks.
Oh, there it is.
You triggered it. You triggered my sink.
You do also learn about Cloud and Tifa's childhood here.
Dark.
You
Dark.
get to see
Past.
Dark
That's right.
Cloud.
Oh, okay.
It is PlayStation.
You get to see what happened between you guys, and you guys were blamed for Tifa getting hurt, even though you didn't do anything.
Very good
You want me to
input.
go like clog the sink or something?
Sink, very good input. Okay, I totally agree with the sink just said.
It's becoming kind of a backwash here in the game.
We do realize that the reason the town burned down, but isn't burned down now, is they rebuilt it and hired actors to be in it, which is probably one of the weirdest ways to retcon a city being still there. But it's Final Fantasy VII, so that's cool.
Yeah, if this is as weird as it gets, we are lucky.
Yes. All right. Anything else to say about Nibelheim?
Nibelheim.
What do we call them? Nibelheimers?
Nibbelish.
The Nibblish.
The
Yeah.
The
Forever remember
Nibblish.
that now. The Nibelheim, Hope of the Nibblish.
Oh, the Nibbelish.
We are
Well, I
the
guess
Nibblish.
I guess we can take off from Nibelheim.
We're going.
Speaking of taking off, let's head to Rocket Town.
Woo! Rocket Town.
One of my
Burning
favorite.
at your fuel out here.
This is like one of my favorite towns in this game, besides Midgar.
What's the best part of Rocket Town?
The rocket.
Nah! I thought it was The Rock. Anyway.
I thought it was a town. I like the town.
I love that there's just a huge rocket and it's tilted to the side, just slightly.
Home of the failed rocket launch.
Yeah, if
That's
you have a
right.
rocket, you have to have a pilot, right?
They do have a pilot. His name is Sid.
That's like that guy that's in every Final Fantasy game.
Yeah. And he has a history of a failed rocket. He blames one of the girls in town. What is her name?
Her name is I don't
Shira?
care. Shira. Yeah, there we go.
Shira. Yeah, Shara. There it is.
Sherry.
So he blames her. There was a big mistake, and he couldn't launch it, and it broke the rocket. That's why it's tilted to the side. You also get the Bronco here. Tiny Bronco. What do you guys think of Rocket Town?
I like Sid's story. He kind of comes off as an asshole at first, and then you understand that like he traded his dreams to save this girl named Cheryl or something.
Cheryl?
I don't know her name.
From accounting?
Yeah, Cheryl from accounting.
Next to Susan?
Yeah.
Sometimes you go to random battle. Sometimes it's Cheryl. Sometimes it's Susan.
It's a
Susan
roleplay.
from HR. Yeah. I kind of like Cosmo Canyon. I like that it includes a reference to them understanding space and like trying to go to other planets.
Yeah, it does make it feel less fantasy and more like sci-fi in a way.
Yeah.
And then once you find out more of the story here, you get in a battle with one of the Turks.
Talking about Fatty Magoo?
Yeah, Fatty McGee.
Palmer.
Oh,
That
okay,
guy,
that's his
yeah.
name. Yeah, whatever.
But I prefer Fatty Magoo.
That's a good nickname. Yeah. It really underscores his attacks.
'Tis I, Fatty Magoo.
Smack that ass, boy.
Love when he was smacking his ass at me.
Final Fantasy 7, great game. Get full of ass smacks and nibblish.
Antifa. Antifa.
And Sid, I wish that I made him. I wish I used him instead of Barrett at the end of the game. Just for what I was using him for. He hits really, really hard.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Sid's cool.
Is he a pilot in every Final Fantasy game or something?
No, he's usually just kind of like he either runs a shop or he does like some kind of mechanical work or something like that. But he's not always like a big part of the story.
The Nurse Joy of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's like every Final Fantasy you'll probably find a Sid there at some point. And in 15, it's a lady.
She's a lady.
Who's that
Whoa,
lady?
whoa, whoa.
It's Sid. Who's that lady? It's Sid.
One tough baby.
Welcome to Final Fantasy 7 Trivia. Here today, we're going to ask the $100 question for fantasy and characters. Who's that lady? For 100.
Who's that lady? Tifa.
Yeah,
Nice guess.
she's
The
lady.
You do a couple different things here after coming from Rocket Town. You do some crazy things that the game never even close to hints you about, like talking to the arms dealer about the, what do you call it? What was it again?
The key thing?
The keystone.
Yeah, he's like, that's not here. I don't know, man. It's over there.
Go back. We've referenced it before, but you go back to the gold saucer, do some stuff. Turns out Kate Sith is a traitor, gives away your keystone. Doesn't really matter though. Like from a plot perspective, it makes absolutely zero difference because they open the door for you anyway.
Yeah, then
But-
Case is like, I'll go with you anyway, and you're like,
And you
why?
you like can't kick him out of your party for some reason.
He's like, I don't know. Shinra's stupid, I guess.
Even though I just literally 2 seconds ago betrayed you
I
for
just
Shinra.
betrayed you for Shinra, but I don't like him anymore. I had to change of heart in the last 5 seconds.
Well, it's a tough choice, but I could kill you all if I wanted anyway. Okay. I obviously have reservations about the rest of this game.
I guess it's a slight plot hole, or maybe just a complete logic jump. I don't know.
Maybe it's also like something like lost in translation, you know? Maybe,
Could be.
Yeah.
It could be the 17-year-old localizer.
Yeah. He's like, guys, I wrote a really good story for Dine.
Let's kick Kate Sith off the cliff.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Twice.
wish you could replace him. Oh my goodness. But anyway, eventually you get to the Temple of Ancients, you're looking for the black materia, which is housed inside. Which Sephiroth's also looking for it. Better get to it first.
Turbo Jones.
Turbo. What do you guys think of the Temple of the Ancients?
It sure is a place. I actually did like this one quite a bit. I liked the different. There's like puzzles, like the little clock puzzle, and then there was the room with like all the stairs and stuff.
Also, these kind of huge like ruins that are kind of rolling towards you. You need to
Yeah, this is like the closest the game has to a dungeon, I guess. Right? Really? I mean,
it's up there. You'll see a little more in this 2 or whatever. But
yeah, but so far.
so far, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Yeah, more traditional dungeon.
You go
Well, I guess
through
the one in Cosmo Canyon.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
a good
the
one
cave.
too. We didn't
Yeah, the
much
caves.
touch on that, but
I find it interesting you say you liked it because this had a lot of those pre-rendered background elements I figured you'd hate.
Oh, the whole game's like that.
there's one like heinous offender here, but once you get past that, it's not bad. It's like when you're going down the stairs.
Oh yeah, and you can't tell, like, you have to go under one area and you can't tell if you can or not.
Yeah, I was looking at video walkthroughs like several times just to understand what I was doing.
I happen to love those things, but I do understand how frustrating they can be.
If there weren't like random battles, I think this might be a bit more tolerable. But I don't know how you'd avoid that with what the console was capable of at the time. You clearly can't just like walk around enemies that are on screen in this game.
I'm just glad they died with the PS1.
What died?
Pre-rendered backgrounds. For the most part.
For the most part, yeah. I wish they'd come back personally, but I guess you don't really need them anymore because they look as good as anything nowadays. But whatever, I miss it. I like the little painting look.
Yeah, now Final Fantasy 15, you're like, wow, this ramen looks like an actual bowl of ramen.
Well, to be fair, there were some really legible characters like that you could read like on certain things, like kanji symbols in Midgar in the slummy areas. I know there's one for like the kanji for king that's on Don Corneo's bed, and like that's like very transparent. I think the problem is just that like a lot of the things are muddy. You know, it just has muddy PlayStation 1 graphics that, regardless of how good your console looks, or should I say your console, it's hard to tell.
I was spoiled by Crash Bandicoot, y'all.
Crash is good.
At the end of Temple of the Ancients, it implodes on itself. Luckily, Kate Sith is in there. He does it for you because he's a robot.
He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And it's like, oh, it's very emotional. And it's like, what is this? No, it's not.
It's not emotional at all.
Yeah.
Like,
fuck that guy.
but then he comes back
Yeah,
with another one.
Yeah, he's got like a million cases around.
I guess in that way he earned his keep, but I kind of would have been okay if he just completely disappeared from the game.
Yeah.
But that ain't happening. So we get to keep him. But you hand the black materia off to Sephiroth.
What?
You got the curse of the, what do you call it, in you. So that sucks.
What's the deal with black materia? Is there like, I forget the plot point.
He's using it to summon Meteor to destroy the world.
To destroy the world. Why?
He's a bad guy.
So your goal was like to get it first.
He's a Final Fantasy villain. That's right.
Yeah.
And then Sephiroth comes down as soon as you get it, and the thing implodes. And like, I think you're the only one left, and then that's when you hand it off to him. It's kind of like, what? Why?
Yeah, it's because Genova is forcing you to give it to him. You're tied that way. It's fun. It's a Final Fantasy plot. I was telling this to my friend. Like, Final Fantasy, probably more than any other game, is like, because magic.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
Magic, though.
Yeah.
You believe
Like,
in magic.
It was like Cloud had all these things with his mind or whatever, which we'll get to, I'm sure, later. But he had all these things, and why? Mako.
Yeah.
Because Final Fantasy VII is the best game of all time.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. You kind of gotta just accept that when you walk into one. Like 9 is totally my favorite. But there's so many parts of it where it's like, he became a horrible creature because the magic.
Yeah. Oh, they're VII. They're cloning the mages. What is he? What magic?
You know,
Magic.
the universal.
VII said though.
Yeah.
DV mashup.
All right, we ready to go on?
Sure.
And our last major location for disc 1. I have one. Do you want to talk about? Let's just skip that. Let's talk about. It's easy to forget about it, but it's the Forgotten Capital, also known as the City of the Ancients. Probably one of the most striking looking places in the game.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Yeah,
Down here it's wetter. Down here it's wetter. Take it from me.
Yes, it's like it looks like it would be an aquatic city, which is really cool looking, but it's above water. Maybe before maybe the water just shrank or something, or tide or something like that. I don't know.
The water shrank.
The water level went down or something.
The water got smaller.
Detergent. Too much Tide.
I was just really thirsty one day.
Yeah. A lot of important stuff happens here. I'm sure you guys will bring it up. So, what do you guys think of the Forgotten City?
Forgot about it. No, I was kidding. It definitely does have a mystical, magical allure to it.
Couple directions you can go. I was getting kind of confused about what exactly I was supposed to be doing. There was like a pedestal at the top, and I was like, "Oh, this must be right," and then no, it wasn't right.
Oh yeah. And if you go to the left, you can find a save point. Up above
I use
that
that point to
save
save my
point,
file.
there's a box. In that box, you'll get an item.
There's also an empty house where you can sleep in the bed. If you sleep in the bed, you will recover your MP and HP.
Who needs game facts? We got you here.
Okay, thank you. Hi.
I like that this city looks like it's a city that people used to live in. Again, I like their detail, their attention to detail when it comes to this. And it also eventually this town has the most memorable scene of the game, probably the most famous one of a Final Fantasy.
Raise your hand if you knew it before you played.
The one where Barrett and Cloud and all them take a nap.
That's iconic.
Absolutely, it's a nice scene, man.
Well,
It's funny you mention that.
Go ahead.
One of the most famous scenes of Chrono Trigger is when all the characters are sleeping in the woods. But that's not what this one's about. This one's about Aerith.
Aw, I love that character.
She finally gets the romance of her dreams.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Oh, Cloud.
Oh.
I've
so,
been waiting for this moment for the most of the disc.
Disc
Aerith is
one.
Aerith is praying to undo what Sephiroth is trying to do by summoning Holy. But unfortunately, Sephiroth comes from above, stabs her right through her
Puts a
chest.
hole in her.
Damn it, Sephiroth!
My heart is broken. You broke my heart, Sephiroth.
Sephiroth, you broke my heart.
How
That's
could
That's not cool, dude.
you? No.
This is often noted as one of the saddest moments in gaming history.
It's got that song goes dun 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 dun. It's like on a piano, right?
Yeah. It's got a little piano down.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Da 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 da. Brr.
Da 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 da. Oh, sorry.
No, not that one.
Okay, sorry.
What did you guys think of this scene?
She did.
Bye, girl.
She
Bye,
ain't my-
Felicia.
She ain't my girl.
Yeah, thank God it wasn't Tifa. I'd
Yeah.
be balling.
I didn't have like feelings for Eris as a character at that point, so
Yeah, I mean,
don't
it's
know.
established at this point that she's like ancient or whatever, and she's important, and you're like, oh, like I guess playing it the first time, you're probably like, oh, she's probably the key to stopping all this. Oh, nope.
Well, she kind of is.
Well, you know, oh, nope, she's dead.
She kind of is.
So I can see where all the shock and stuff comes from now, but I've played games now where in the first 10 minutes a 8-year-old girl gets fucking shot in the stomach. The saddest thing in the world. So like this does not affect me very much.
Yeah.
There is kind of a technical lack here, where it's like you don't hear anything. It's not like the slicing of a sword, or you only hear the music, and it's not like necessarily like tragic music. I don't know.
Music choice is odd for this scene.
Yeah, who thought they would be playing Backstreet Boys during this part?
It was weird.
Oh, sorry, maybe that was just me listening to Backstreet Boys in the background.
No, we were all listening to Backstreet Boys when we played this.
Oh, okay.
It's aesthetic choice.
That makes you larger
Sonic.
than Eris.
Sephiroth is back. All right.
Oh my God! It's Sephiroth Rothoff.
I thought it was a little bit sad watching the characters like pick her up and put her in the water.
Yeah, that was a nice moment, and it looked pretty good too for the time. You know, like I said, the FMVs stayed up pretty well.
Yeah. Kind of seeing them interact with it is interesting, especially again. We kind of have to go on like a Wayback Machine because we can't like now, like you said, like the beginning of The Last of Us, like this doesn't
Yeah, exactly.
hold anything to that. But it's like going back, this kind of thing hadn't really happened before, so it was definitely you could see where people would be affected by it. Maybe more shocked than sad. Maybe they'd be more shocked.
Well, yeah, see, I don't know how many RPGs like that just kill off a main character like partway through the game.
Yeah.
I don't know, Spencer, you and I are Dragon Quest fans. You know, Dragon Quest V has like moments like that. So, but that was a Japan only title at the time of release. So, I don't know. Maybe that was a trend. You know, same kind of mother company too. No reference
Not at the
to
time.
Mother there. Square?
Not-
What were the differences?
It was
No,
Enix.
Yeah, it was Enix. They didn't merge until after PS2.
Then who did Dragon Quest at the time?
Enix.
And then who
Yeah.
did Final Fantasy at the time?
Square.
Ah,
And then they merged together to make Square Enix.
what if Dragon Quest V and Final Fantasy VII had been
Dragon
Dra-
Fantasy.
Fantasy 12? Because you
Oh.
had 5 and 7.
I was gonna just do the difference.
2.
Yeah.
Negative 2.
Wouldn't it be Chrono Trigger?
Huh. Okay.
You know what?
I see a lot of parallels with Chrono Trigger in this game. And then I add the time thing with 5, and there you go.
Wow.
You know what else had time?
There's a printer going on in my back. I apologize.
Oh my gosh! Spencer has a sync now. It's his printer.
Clue Clue Land. It was the launch title for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
I need a
In Clue Clue
background
Land, you have a
machinery
lot of
or
time.
like something that's gonna mess up and make a lot of noise.
Let us know in the comments below what kind of background machinery or / home equipment should Alex have.
Oh, is
Chair.
that my Game Boy
It's his
Advance?
chair.
What is my Game Boy Advance? Oh, it is my chair, isn't it?
Yes, the squeaky chair. As you can see firsthand here, Alex Chair clearly has a lot of feelings about Eris getting killed off.
Yeah.
It's squeaking tears. Squeaking tears.
Well, guys, that's the end of the map out.
No, it's
That's
not.
just
Great,
one.
Final Fantasy
No,
VII is
it's
over.
not. It's
It's
this
over.
isn't the end.
Welcome to the end.
We still have a whole other map out. But guess what? We're going to do it in a different video next week.
That's right. Next week we'll be exploring disc 1 or 2 and 3, including the end of the game, what it means to us, and all the exciting bits in between.
Because this game's long.
This is a very long game.
I know it was great until after Midgar.
Can't wait to play more minigames.
You guys want to talk disc 1?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
How do you feel?
Solid. I give it a solid A. For
Out of S?
yes.
Okay.
I give it a B. I feel like Midgar is really fleshed out, and everything after it is kind of like they had a lot of time to do Midgar and then not a lot of time to do the other parts. I would have liked a lot more detail with those, but I think it would have been a different game, which I kind of wouldn't mind. I don't know. What do you think, Teddy?
I'm probably with you in like the B category. I think, like you said, some of the moves were just bold for the time. Like I think having a cross-dressing scene was huge. Like I don't even know games nowadays that really do that.
Breath of the Wild.
I haven't played. The Eris killed off scene, that's big. And I think even map-wise, you can tell the game is going for some kind of commentary on something, although it's not entirely clear. It is kind of venturing off into the magic. I think you get an inkling of this in Disc 1, but like some of the in-game non-battle sequences are just not great, and I don't think many of the bosses at this point are very memorable.
It's funny you mentioned commentary, because our boy Terry better leave a comment.
An essay comment.
Yes, explaining Disc 1 and his thoughts on it. Disc 1 for me, I gave it an A because I'm not an RPG guy, and you guys know this, and I don't really spend a lot of my time playing RPGs. I do like some of them, but it's not my forte per se. So going back into this one, even though we are playing it for the show, and that does kind of weigh on me a little bit because it kind of feels more like homework at points than doing it for enjoyment. I have to say most of Disc 1, I did enjoy playing. Like I played purely like for enjoyment, and I did get into it, and that's something that I don't know if a lot of other RPGs from this era would be able to do for me. So it did hold my interest all the way through. I think Midgar is great. I like some of the side stories in the town, especially Barrett's and Red 13's and stuff. So fuck the minigames though.
Yeah, fuck those minigames.
Just so bad. Like, I mean, I got 10 hours into 9, and it wasn't like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like so far, and I'm gonna trigger somebody in the comments. I have a feeling. I don't see how you would call this the best Final Fantasy strictly on those mini games, man. They just bog down the experience for me,
Yeah.
I mean, even for being experimental at the time, I guess what they were going for was like, we're gonna break the pace of like the typical RPG, and this technically was. This was the RPG that broke the mold. That really appealed to masses.
Well, I see it as them trying to do the Yakuza thing. How in Yakuza you have a world with like different elements you can do things in. And it's like, you can do karaoke and play a claw game and do whatever. And like it makes the world in Yakuza feel alive. And I feel like that's what they were trying to do here, but the minigames just, for the most part, like, just aren't fun. They aren't enjoyable, and the fact that, like, they're mandatory for like, some of the sections, just, I don't know. It's just, like, when I get there, I'm like, oh, my God. Like I was saying earlier, whatever I cut out, I was saying that, like, that part with the marching game, I was on the phone with Teddy, and I was like, Teddy, how do I do this marching part? And Teddy was, like, talking about whatever, and I was like, Teddy, how the fuck do I do this marching part?
I think I honestly didn't know. So, like, I couldn't help you. So I was like, I can suffer through this.
Yeah, Teddy was like, Columns 2 is the game. And I was like, Teddy, what the fuck am I doing?
Ride the dolphin to the top U-bar on the construction building.
I think, like, if they wanted to include the minigames, they still could have. But they should have just made them either optional or few and far between. Not like every.
Yeah,
time.
we didn't even touch on all of them. We got snowboarding.
Well, no, that's this too.
Save it. Yeah, that's coming next time. So
There's
Yeah, we got more.
it gets
Just a load of shit.
wild.
I can't wait to talk
wet
about.
and wild.
I can't wait till we go back to fucking Fort Condor. God damn it.
that's the worst.
Yeah.
You can get a whole essay on that one.
I'm playing a game on a Sega 32X.
Just remember to join us next time.
We are the Tifa Mappers.
The RPG mappers. RPT, role playing Tifa.
Do your best Barrett impressions.
Hold on. Mine would come from the remake.
Yeah.
He does a good job. It'd be like, don't you know about the Mako?
That's good. We gotta save the planet.
Get out of here, Cloud.
Yeah.
Because they use like all the
Yeah, these are
the marks to bleep out curses.
Yeah, these like the Cubert marks, right?
Yeah.
Remember Cubert?
No.
Yeah.
It's kind of too close to Clue Clue. It's like 2 degrees separated. What if Q was the inspiration for Clue? And I'm not talking about the board game.
It's me, Cubert.
Alex, do your best Qbert impression.
There you go.
Wow, imagery.
Join us next time where Spencer's gonna finally tackle the tricky topic of spectrobes.
That's the bonus edition.
You know, I was talking to Teddy earlier, and I mentioned that there's 3 Spectrobes games, and there's 3 of us.
That's an unfortunate fact.
Two of them are on the DS, and 2 of us like to play the DS, and then one of them's on Wii, and one of us likes to play the Wii.
I don't play the DS. I play the 3DS.
It's the same thing. It does the thing.
This is true.
So next game talk, we're all doing Spectrobes then.
We need like 2,000 subs for that. I don't know.
Teddy, it is Jimmy Neutron hair.
For all the podcasts to hair.
God bless. You can't see it, but Teddy like spiked his hair up in the front. He has like a
I
swirl.
was going for the Cloud.
You have like a Donkey Kong swirl.
It makes sense. They call me Teddy.
He's finally here, performing for you. If you know the RPG, you can join in too. Put your hands
together.
If you wanna
rap.
As
I'll take you through this game as Barrett. Barrett. Fantasy.
He's
Barrett. Fantasy 7.
He's the leader of the bunch. You know him.
He kicked Dine. And there's Marlene. It's finally time. I stand tall. I'm big and proud. And I don't take shit. Not even from Cloud. Tifa.
Keep going.
Tifa Fantasy.
Tifa. T-Fantasy 7. Spencer, you're up.
Oh, I don't. Kate Sith. Robot guy. Turn against you in the blink of an eye. He likes to talk. He likes to hide.
My favorite part.
To get better characters, I
when he
need a
dies.
strategy guide.
Aw.
That's good. Kate, sit. Cat on his head.
You know this guy? He is blonde, and people confuse him with Bond. He rode a spaceship, or at least he wanted to, and now he's a dick. especially to you. Sid. 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 Sid.
In every fantasy game. She picks the flowers and is kind of careless. She gets killed off. Her name is Eris.
She's an ancient.
And really needs a heater because she can't stand up to Tifa.
Eris. She is dead.
Eris. Not in disc 2 or 3, maybe.
Eris. Never liked her fully. She gives new meaning to the word holy. There's a double meaning on that one.
Yeah,
On account of the sword?
Like Sephiroth.
Yeah.
The last party member. She's the best. And it's because of her giant personality. She'll punch and kick, and she's got a slot machine.
Her somersault is kind of mean.
Tifa. She's the best.
Tifa. Personality.
Personality Tifa.
Last
His name
up.
is Rufus,
Oh.
and he's kind of big.
Why do you keep bringing up Rufus?
And he's named Rufus, and he's a doofus.
His name's Rufus, and he likes to dig. Rufus.
Yay, Rufus.
It's pretty big.
Rufus is in Final Fantasy VII.
Main character of the main character of the game. His name is Cloud. He's kind of shy and not very loud. He's got a sword, and he'll cut you up. And he likes to dress up. Cloud. Dark past. Cloud and his dark secret past.
This character, he likes to hide. And meanwhile, he's also hard to find. His name is Vincent, and he's kind of edgy. And someone might sell you him. And his name is Reggie.
Vincent.
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 Valentine. Vincent. Valentine in Final Fantasy VII.
There's another chick. Her name is Puddles. Oh wait, it's Yuffie. Sorry about that. She's like a knockoff Tifa. Whatever. Okay, let's skip this one.
Yuffie.
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 Who cares? Finally, we got my boy. He's a tiger or a lion. That I enjoy.
Not a toy. Oh.
Even though it's 7, his favorite number is 13.
If he
And
bites you.
rather than roar, he's always talking. Red.
Red
Red
13. Red.
Red.
His father died brutally.
In the jungle.
If somebody doesn't take this like last 5 minutes and like put the music and make it an actual song, I'm gonna be sad. This is brilliant.
He's got long white hair and a real long sword. He always looks tired and really, really bored.
His name's Sephiroth Hyperotha, or maybe I'm wrong, but goddamn, his sword is long.
Sepha.
Sepha Hyperotha.
Sephiroth.
Sepha. There's a town with lots of people, and some wear cloaks. and are kind of evil. And you don't see them when the game is finished. They're from Nibelheim, and they are the Neblish. Neblish.
Nibelheim. It burned down. Or did it?
Nibelheim.
I'm kind of confused.
Final Fantasy storyline.
Don't forget about all the Turks. They're actually a bunch of jerks. Basically, Team Rocket follow you around. I just wish they would leave me the fuck alone.
Fatty.
Turks.
Fatty Magoo. Fatty. He's gonna sit on you.
Smack that ass, boy.
Sherry or Cheryl or maybe even Cherie. We don't know her name. She crushed Sid's dreams. Now he's sad and old and bitter and probably drunk. It's okay. That character stunk.
Very good.
Sherry or Cheryl or even Cherie. Sherry or Cheryl. What the fuck is her name? Her name's Marlene. She's a kid. She has no influence on the plot.
That's what she did.
That's what she
She
did.
has a dad,
His name
and
is.
his name is Don.
He fell off a cliff, but trust me, he's fine.
A second. I was gonna say fell off a cliff a second time.
And he's always dying. Dying. Dying.
Don. Trust me, he's fine.
Then there's other characters in Avalanche.
Jesse and Biggs and the other guy.
And they like to dance.
Blanche.
And one of them falls off a tower. You could tell it wasn't his finest hour.
Jesse. She's pretty.
And this other guy.
Jesse's pretty hot in the remake.
No, she's not, because there's Tifa
She's like
taking her spot,
She's like a second-rate Tifa.
like a Puddles.
Like of another Puddles.
Like
Knock
a Puddles.
off Tifa.
She's Puddles before Puddles was Yuffie.
Don't forget about the best character. His name's Don Corleone or whatever his name is, and he's horny.
When he eats breakfast, it's horny-os. And
Cloud's
Can't
a
forget.
boy, but he'll never know.
corny. Corny, yo.
Horny.
Don.
He fell in love with
Horny,
Cloud.
yo. Likes Cloud.
Don't forget about Zach from Gungaga.
He learned it from the Cooking Papa.
He joined Soldier, or so his parents said.
And his best friend Cody is not red.
Play disc 2. He might be dead. Zach from Gungaga.
Zach. From Gokaka in Final Fantasy VII.
What are we doing?
His name is Sonic. And he, and he likes the rings. And look at Spencer and all the enjoyment he brings.
He's gotta go fast, and he is blue. Watch out, Sephiroth. It's coming for you.
Sonic.
Hi, I'm Sonic.
Sonic. Hi. I'm Sonic.
His name is Reggie, and he's here to say, eat your veggies.
Every day.
I'm here to sell you a brand new game. It's called Fling Smash. It's actually pretty lame.
At GameStop. Stop your game.
Fling Smash. Remember that? Fling Smash.
$1 at GameStop.
His name's Dan Zig, and he was on our stream.
We
Just
did karaoke.
he can sing. Spencer played a song on his guitar.
It was kind of solo. You guys like Star Wars, so Han Solo.
Danzig was there. Danzig, he showed up on our stream.
You have now entered the button mapper state of delusion. We have breached the walls. We've breached the third line.
Hi, I'm Toad, and I have a big head.
And I'm Toad. And I didn't take my meds.
And I'm Toad, and my hat is red.
And I'm Toad. And hi, I'm Toad.
Hi, I am Toad.
Hi, Toad. I am Toad too.
Welcome to Mario Kart 8. It's me, drunk Mario. I shouldn't be driving. Remember that joke from the map out? You guys should go watch it. It's kind of underrated. Cheese Land. Cheese Land. Cheese Land originated there.
Cheese Land is not Clue Clue Land. And Clue Clue is kinda bland. It was a launch title. Button Mappers marks Clue Clue Land revival. Clue Clue.
Clue
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 Land.
Land.
Clue
Clue
Clue.
Clue. Fuck Clue Clue Land.
My ears are
You let 'em have it,
my
Teddy.
ears are just assaulted.
Do you agree?
Take it away, Spencer. Play us out.
To play us out.
Well, you had another fantastic episode of the Button Mappers.
I just want to know, like, whoever like finds this episode and is like, oh, cool. They must like go in depth on Final Fantasy in like the last 10 minutes. They're like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch the first 5 and the last 5. What the fuck is this? Button Mappers, more like button rappers.
Spencer, play us out.
Give us a hint, an itinerary of what's to come in Disc 2 and 3.
Cloud has a dark, dark past. Tifa has a dark, dark past. Sephiroth has a dark, dark past. And Barrett, surprisingly, has a dark, dark past.
Wait, hold on, wait. What about Sid?
Sid has a dark, dark past.
Okay, what about Red 13?
Dark, dark past.
Yuffie?
Dark, dark puddle.
Okay. Vincent?
Dark, dark past.
Okay. Kate Seth?
I thought you were gonna leave him out.
Dark, dark past.
Shit.
Dark Dark Cat.
Okay. Fatty Magoo?
Believe it or not, dark, dark past.
Damn. Marlene?
Dark, dark past.
Dine?
Dark,
Dead.
dark past.
Off the cliff.
Okay.
No, he's back.
Oh, for a third time.
What about
He's back in Diner Than Ever.
Ubenhagen, or whatever the guy's name was.
Dark Past.
Shit.
Cooking papa.
Yeah, what about the cooking papa?
Dark Past.
Terry 309.
Dark Past. Woo.
VG mash it up.
Oh, he can't have a dark past. But he does. Who knew that would happen?
Spencer.
Dark past.
Alex.
Dark future.
That's not good. Don't prophecy that.
But a pretty good
Ton.
fast.
But he'll get through it, and then that will become his
Dark past.
Dark
It's
past.
gonna happen sometime.
Sonic.
Sonic. Dark past.
Dark fast.
Mario Dark past.
Clue Land developers.
Dark people.
Dark existence.
Yeah. Whoever made that is evil.
Columns theme song.
Dark past.
Should we like end
Chrono Trigger.
Shining light, a beacon of light in the world, in a dark world.
Is this as good as Breath of Fire? Find out next time.
Zelda.
Beautiful.
Did you say Tifa? Dark Fist?
Yeah, she has a dark.
Oh, but Zelda's beautiful.
Spectrobes.
Spectrobes. Dark past though on that one too.
The button mappers?
Bright future.
What? Heck yeah, you heard it here first from Kate Spencer.
Did you know the button mappers have a bright future? That's all I need to know.
Who's still watching? Terry, you still watching? Terry, if you're still watching, can you please write me a haiku about Final Fantasy VII in the comments? If you don't know how to write a haiku, it's like, what is it? It's 5
7 5.
syllables, right? And then 7 and then 5. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
We'll take free verse. Free bird. And I'm free.
And this cloud you cannot change. Whoa.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.